Good morning, folks. This is Deb, and today we're going to talk about not getting sucked in by the GOP and the right wing attempt to make Donald Trump a more palatable candidate as we wind down towards this election. So they're trying to use the platform to make him more likable, I guess you would say. So let's do a little history on the platform. So in the 2016 platform, I think it was about 54 pages, and it was full of information and full of detail. And there was still pretty much a lot of the Reagan vision for the Republican Party in that platform. A man who we now know is just a rhino to the MAGA set. He's just not radical enough for them. In 2020, they didn't even bother with a platform, but they're back in 2024. And, according to the mainstream media, it reflects Donald Trump's complete takeover of the party. And Donald Trump has been reflected as the main kahuna in this party for a long time. This is nothing new. This is just making his platform like one of his rally speeches. So here are some of the things that they focus on. And then we're going to talk about why I really am making this video. He talks about the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. Now, I don't know who the Latino voters think he's talking about here, but he's not talking about the Canadians. I can promise you that. Ending the education department, of course. Deporting pro-Hamas radicals. Now, let me translate that from the Trumpian. That means anybody in this nation who believes that Palestinians have rights or that the people of Gaza are victims. End the weaponization of the Department of Justice. And that's, something he can now do with impunity if he's reelected, because the Supreme Court says so. Build the great Iron Dome over the U.S. That might be something like the wall, where we talk about building the Iron Dome, and then we're going to say Russia's paying for it because they're our allies. Cancel the EV mandate, and not just that, but almost anything Joe Biden has done to protect the environment and stave off total climate catastrophe. And protect Social Security, which is a laugh riot since they spend their time talking about ways to end Social Security. And we know the GOP and Donald Trump are a pack of liars. So what they've suspiciously done is soften Donald Trump's stance on abortion. Now it's up to the states. He's changed his mind. But the devil is in the details, my friends, and the details aren't in this platform. Okay, the details are in Project 2025, and we're going to start talking about that tomorrow. So let's talk about what it means when he says he's leaving it to the states. That means all the red states can feel free to completely oppress women at will. And what it means is, while you all think that you are safe in the blue states, you should consider the fact that Donald Trump can use the federal government to punish states that protect abortion. And he has stated so in the past. He can not fund certain things, not grant funding for certain things. He can make it very plain that unless we change our ways, we're not going to get anything that we need. Because now he has a pathway to tyranny, courtesy of the Supreme Court, and all he has to do is call it an official act. The other thing I'm hearing is, outside of the Republican National Convention, which is coming up, they're going to have a Latino GOP information center outside. That's great, because they can continue to lie to the Latino community, because that's what they do. They're talking, my friends, about deporting, after rounding them up and putting them in camps, deporting millions of undocumented immigrants. When they're talking about the border, they're talking about the Mexican border. They're talking about you. And so the concept of Latinos for Trump is about as logical to me as gays for Trump or women for Trump. And let's talk about the LGBTQ community. because they kind of sidestep all of that in the platform. But again, the devil is in the details in Project 2025. And that is their guiding light. This platform, consider that they didn't even have one in 2020. This is meaningless. It's a bunch of words on a page. Okay? They don't even talk about the LGBT community much in terms of gay marriage, even though we know that one of the things that the right wants is to reverse that. And we know that. And they can use the same rationale they used when they overturned Roe to do that. But bigger than that is they do take swipes at transgender care in this platform and have no intention of allowing any kind of federal money whatsoever to be used for that. And this is how the Republican Party works. They're insidious. When Roe was made the law of the land, they started immediately whittling away at it until they could stack the court and overturn what they needed to overturn, which was Roe. So I'd like to remind everybody here that nobody is safe. There is no room for people of color, gay people, transgender people, women, or anyone who doesn't fit the mold of what 1776 America looked like. Because this is their guiding principle, originalism. And ladies, please, I implore you, do not be fooled by any of this, because leaving it to the states is not Roe. They've already overturned Roe. The damage has been done. Donald Trump brags about it every time he's on the road. The damage has been done. And women will continue to be endangered by this grievous SCOTUS ruling from a court that was built by the GOP to bring us to this point in our history. And let me emphasize just how dangerous Donald Trump is to democracy in America, and just how dangerous the Supreme Court is to democracy in America. He has built that court so that they can assist him in instituting authoritarian rule in this country. And nothing that the GOP can do with their little PR campaign as we get closer to the election should make Donald Trump palatable to anyone in America. Tomorrow we start with Project 2025. I will talk to you all later.